Oh, hi everybody, welcome to my live. We're gonna wait for people to hop on. I'm here with my special guest, Amanda Pierce. We're gonna do a beautiful glamour wave style on her. So I'll be working on that while you're asking some questions. I'm gonna just get started on styling her hair, and then I'll wait for some more people to get on, and then we can start asking questions. How is everybody today? How are you doing, Amanda?
I'm good. So excited for this.
Amanda has beautiful, beautiful hair. I'm so excited. We're going to do glamour waves, and then I have a vision for a second look that I want to do, and we're going to use that. If you had seen on my Instagram yesterday, I showed you the birdcage veil with a beautiful headband. I'm excited to try that on her.
So do you put one row of extensions in and then curl it at a time?
Yes, I do this look. It's basically a process, and I build the style section by section. So I already put one extension section in through the bottom. So now I'm just curling it, and I'm curling it using a vertical, holding my curling iron vertically, and then I wrap the hair around that.
Make sure everyone can hear. Can you guys all hear?
Can you guys hear us? Oh, good.
Okay.
All right, thumbs up on that. So we're gonna do this beautiful, I'm just gonna turn Amanda. So we have this beautiful curl, and I put one section of extensions back here, and then I'm gonna curl each section here. And then we'll brush this out, and then we'll move to the next section. But also, before I started, Amanda, I did micro crimp. I used this micro crimp from Lala's Updos, and I just micro crimped her crown. Once we get to the front, I'll do a little bit through the front also, but that helps to give a little more fullness and volume to the hair.
Okay, I have a question for you. Is it easier to have a client use clip-in extensions or have like the weft or...
Ooh, that's a good one. I love clip-in
ends?
because you can control where the hair goes, like where you want to place it. Because sometimes you don't, like the rose will come all the way up into the front area,
Right.
and I feel like it's hard to get a good parting, and with the clip-ins, you just have so much more control. Amanda did my makeup. Does it look pretty? She did amazing. I did save some questions that people asked before the live. Some of my brides and some hairstylists weren't able to make it, so I'm going to make sure that we answer those questions for you guys. Who do we have on?
I can't even see really.
What's that?
I can't really see. Do you pin the curl or just like hold it till?
I just hold it while it cools. And then I'm going to use this comb to comb through and start to create the waves.
Do you typically start with like the 2 clips on the crown of the head for the clip-in extensions?
Wait, say that again.
Do you typically start with a 2-piece?
Well, because usually the hairline gets more narrow at the bottom.
Okay.
So I feel like the 3 is too long. So I'll start with a 2 at the bottom. And then sometimes I'll even take the 3 and then I'll set that into the hair, and then I'll even put a 2 on top of it. And it just adds a little bit more thickness and volume to the hair too.
I don't do hair, guys, but I'm really trying to learn how to do this. So.
I know. Do you ever put clip-ins yourself, Amanda?
No. I mean, I'll try, but like one.
I know it is hard to do on yourself. So normally I'm using a styling chair, but normally when I'm at a wedding, I won't use a chair with a back. I'll have the bride sit in a chair. If it has a back to it, I'll turn the chair because then you have more control over combing the hair on their back. But in this case, I'm using the styling chair and it's what our option is. So normally I wouldn't at a wedding. I would have there be no back where the hair is.
Danielle asked what'd you say? When using clip-ins, should you tease the hair before clipping them in?
Yes, I always take the section and I tease a little bit at the root and then I'll spray it with some spray, like on the top part and underneath. And then I'll put the clip-in extension in. And then I also always bobby pin it too, because they're going to be dancing. People are hugging them. So I feel like it helps to just secure and just allow the style to last for longer. Did you see the one Dad put in there?
No, will you hand me my phone? Because maybe I'll go live. So
he must have found my questions.
I'll join so that I can.
No. He found the questions I had saved that people asked, and I put them on index cards.
You're so pretty, Amanda.
Oh, thanks. I'll give you my phone.
No, that's disgusting. No.
What did she want? Oh, she's.
That's Got2B Glue.
Oh yeah, did somebody ask that?
Yeah, someone asked that.
Oh yeah, of course.
All right, can you give me a napkin cast? Oh my God.
Sonata actually got me using that. I love that spray. Oh, thanks, hon. I was going to get that for you.
Okay, so for those that don't know, I am a makeup artist, and Got2B Glue makes a little gel that is amazing if you are trying to fluff up your brows to make it look like a lamination.
I've seen that with their gel.
Sorry, guys. Chomping like a chomp. Yeah.
I think I tried to use the spray one time on my brows. I put it on like one of those spindles, the like mascara spindle or spoolie. Spoolie. Spindle.
Yeah, so the Got2B Glue, like nothing moves.
Yeah.
So I can imagine that with hair.
Yeah.
That's what you want also. So I can read any questions that come through.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I just joined.
I also love to like section with one of these little crochet hooks because it gives like a nice clean section. Do we have any more questions?
How do you eliminate frizz?
So frizz. I like to use the Redken, the spray wax. That's like awesome. It will help control it. I feel like with this look, you don't want to go heavy with it, but it's good for after your styling. If you feel like there's frizzy pieces up here, you can spray it and then just like gently comb the frizz out. That's what I usually like to do. Sometimes even blow drying the hair before you start your client, even with their hair dry, just to get a little bit of control in the hair. Like if you do get flyaways, maybe you have somebody that has a little bit of a natural wave to it. If you take a big round brush and just start drying it, maybe put a tiny bit of a cream in there, and that will help to get rid of some of that frizz as well.
How do you place the bobby pins without them poking through and seeing them?
I think like you're teasing at the root helps to give it almost like a pin cushion, you know, to put into the hair and it won't get to the scalp. So I just try to put it over, like not go all the way to the scalp putting that in, just pinning it where the extension is and where the natural hair is. So I'm not like poking the pin all the way down to the scalp and then driving it into the hair. I'm just going over and securing the extension in with the natural hair. Can you give me a 3, please?
Someone said, can you turn me so that they can see?
Oh, sure.
Can we see you do a section from the back?
Okay. So I did tease Amanda's like base. So that I'm teasing that, and that's gonna let the clip stay in and give it more hold. And it also, if you think about it, gives a little bit of volume too. So then I'm gonna take one of the 3 sections and I'm gonna put that in. But before I do that, I'm going to spray. I always spray a little underneath and a little over. Again, you want your bride's hair to last for a long time. So usually, you know, she's gotta be good until midnight. So you wanna do everything you can to make it secure. So I'm gonna set a 3 in there.
What are some tips to avoid overthinking any hairstyle?
Well, I think that you have to learn how to look at the head. Every time somebody shows you a hairstyle, the way that I like to break it down, you can see Amanda's hair. I have her sectioned. I always think of any hairstyle, I will look at the client's head and I'll be like, you have the front section, you have the crown section, and you have the back. Those are the 3 sections. So when somebody shows me a look, I will break it down in my head. What's going on in the crown, what's going on in the front, and what's going on in the back. Even with this down look, even though it's a one full cohesive look, there's still a certain section, what you're gonna do with the front, what you're gonna do with the crown and the back. So, and then also practicing. You just have to keep being consistent and practice, and then you get better at something. So I think those 2 things is how I always look at it, and it helps me to be more consistent and know what I need to achieve with each of the hairstyles. So now I'm going to take the bobby pins, I'm going to go through. So I do kind of go underneath, I guess, and put my hands under there, and I'm going to just like weave it through and secure that bobby pin in there. So it's not only on the extension hair, but it's also going into her own hair, but it is not going on her scalp because you want to, as best as you can, make it comfortable for them all day. So I'm going to go
sorry.
1, 2, 3. Sorry. Go ahead.
Tell me when you're ready for a question.
Okay, go ahead, Amanda.
Do you have any tricks for avoiding bumps with slick back ponies?
Yeah, I think that even using one of these really fine, I don't know if this is a knitting needle, I think that's what that is. That's awesome. If you get the hair back in a tight ponytail and you feel like there's bumps in there, you can just slide that in to the scalp and slide it down the head and just go around the head, and it will clean those up. Sleek ponytails are challenging. It takes some time to get them in there. You have to consistently look at the hair. You have to hold it tight where the ponytail is going to be attached. So it does take some time, but using one of those tools is awesome to take any bumps out. All right, so now we're gonna spray and we'll curl these.
What?
You should have added yourself to the line and put your camera up there.
Then I wouldn't be able to read.
Do it.
Oh,
I could do it. I can do it when we get to the front.
okay.
How you doing, Amanda?
Good. I will say these extensions are super comfortable.
Yeah, these are nice. These are the Remy Cachet ones.
Remy Cachet.
Yeah, I love their extensions.
What lengths are these?
Those are the 20-inch.
20-inch.
Which usually 20 to 22 is a good amount. And depending, like, sometimes I'll even trim the extensions, but I'll do that as I put the sections in. Let's say maybe their hair is just slightly shorter than them, and I want to just bring it up a little bit. I may, I'll trim the ends.
Awesome.
Yeah, this color match is perfect too. It's a perfect match. Somebody asked, there was a question that a bride asked about what to do with her hair the night before for her rehearsal dinner. So what I usually recommend for my brides is to just do wash and blow dry the day before, maybe some soft curls for their rehearsal dinner. That way there's not too much product in there, and then the hair is prepped for the next day. I feel like that sets it up to be perfect. Normally I don't have my brides wash their hair the day of the wedding. The reason I don't do that is you have to blow dry it, and I feel like there's not as much volume and texture in the hair. But if a bride is really they feel greasy and it makes them feel gross not to shampoo it, of course, I would definitely have them do it. I just would add a little bit more texture spray and make sure you're doing the micro crimping to get that extra texture into the hair. So usually this look I usually book about an hour and a half to sometimes 2 hours, depending on how much hair and how many extensions you're putting in. But usually somewhere around an hour and a half to 2 hours. And then of course you have them come back once they're done with makeup or just to do a final touch up. I feel like the hair, after you've let it sit for a little bit, you can really fluff it out and do some fine tuning, and all the products settled in the hair and it's got even better texture.
Lauren says, I love you, Cassandra. You're my favorite.
Oh, hi, Lauren.
Lauren Lamley.
Oh, yeah, Lauren. She teaches yoga at our studio, or at our salon.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, she's amazing. She does it at her home. She's an amazing instructor. And she's a life coach now. I'm sure that's not the right word for it, but she's a sweetheart. She's been my model before.
We all need life coaches right now.
Oh my God, I know. Well, it's good to have somebody like Amanda. She's like a little life coach. Call her up and get some advice.
I'm gonna start charging.
So what do you like to do with your what advice do you give your brides, Amanda, when you as far as skincare, because you want their skin to look amazing when you come to do their makeup?
I do feel like skin is something that we've just started really focusing on in the last couple years. I believe it's probably the same idea as, working on whatever color hair, your client is wanting, or if they're wanting extensions, anything like that. Obviously, skin prep is so huge for how the makeup application looks. So I typically tell clients to start with, your basic facials at least a year in advance. Depends on your budget, depends on your skin. Does your skin, have needs? Are we trying to correct something or fix something, or are we just trying to maintain? But yeah, find your local esthetician. Find, obviously if your makeup artist is an esthetician, that's even better. I feel like it has been huge for my bridal industry. I have a lot of skincare clients that come in, makeup artists in the industry, and I tell them, I go, if you're not an esthetician, go to school to be an esthetician, because you're taking two genres basically and creating one in the bridal industry. And it also, which I feel like no one really talks about, I get to know my clients ahead of time.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I start building a relationship. Some of my clients come to me even before they get engaged. And so we chat about photography, we chat about venues. Yeah. I mean, you're getting one-on-one knowledge just by, supporting my business. But I think skin is huge. I think people are realizing it. TikTok has brought skincare to life.
Yeah. And it does. I've seen your brides that have been with you to get their skincare, and their makeup is flawless.
And here's the thing too, it's whatever works with your budget. So if you only have, X amount of money that you want to put towards your skincare routine, that's fine. We'll work with it. At least I say minimum 2 to 3 facials. If you can only swing one, that's also fine. I feel like anything for me to just see your skin ahead of time is huge. And then obviously, you know, there's a few estheticians in the local 518 that I love, so I'm always open to recommending. And you know, we're a community here, and I feel that, you know, when you can start with skin, it's just
we just had one of Cassie's clients. She just got engaged. She's a wedding planner.
Oh, yes.
And she just said she's booking her facials, making sure her skin's going to look amazing. So she's thinking about it, you know, and I think she wants to get married in 2026. So, I mean, you're going to have your photos. You want to look the best that you can.
You do. And the thing too is I feel like my reoccurring rate, so when my brides start with me, you know, depending on my schedule, their budget, I feel like I want to say like 9 out of 10 brides continue after their wedding to keep up with their skin.
Yeah.
So if you are watching and you're a makeup artist and, you know, maybe you're an esthetician too, maybe you're a cosmetologist too, obviously, you know, if it's in the works for you and you can get to school for skin, do it. Because
what do we have in our area for skin, like as far as schools? Where did you go? You went.
So there's ASI in Latham. There's a couple. There's one in Westchester, and then I think there's 2 in the city. So it just depends. I have one makeup artist. I won't say her name, but I have one makeup artist, hairstylist in the area, and she started to come to me for facials last year. And she just got into ASI, so I'm super excited for her.
That's awesome. Why do they have a wait list?
I don't know if they have a wait list, but I know that it takes time to get in.
Yeah, that, like you said, that's like an added benefit to have, you know, do the skincare on your bride.
Someone asked, how do I quickly transition my bride from look number 1 to look number 2?
Yeah, usually what I find is when you do a second look, you usually only have about 30 minutes. Like you have to kind of beg the planner or whatever, please give me at least, you know, 30 minutes to do this. But if you have the hair prepped properly and you take the time to make your, you know, do your hairstyle, building the style, it's going to be very easy. You might have to move around some extensions. I always try to think about, like, what am I changing their hair into? Maybe I need to just ahead of time think about what do I need to do when I see her for that 30 minutes before she goes to her cocktail hour or reception. So I'll like start brainstorming in my head, okay, I'm going to take her bottom nape extensions out because I'm going to put her in a ponytail. So I'll think about how I'm going to go through it. But if you prep the hair properly, it's going to be no fail. You'll be able to make it happen because you'll have the proper texture in the hair, the amount of curl that you need, and all you're going to have to do is brush through it, maybe move a few extensions around, and then you're going to be able to switch her look.
Do you think it's easier to go from down to up or up to down?
I think it's much easier to go from down to up because down you're prepping the hair. You can put all of the texture and volume and curl in there. I have done it. I actually just did one of my brides. She had an Indian wedding and we did the opposite. We put her hair up and then we went into glamour waves. So the way that I thought about it was that I just curled her hair as if I was doing the glamour waves on her prior to putting her hair up, so that at least the pattern was already set in the hair. And then once I did that, when I took the hair down, I was able to just readjust and add extensions in. I had some of the extensions already curled, and I knew where I needed to place them. So it set me up to be able to do it. So it's easier, obviously, to go from down to up, but you can make it work. All right, what do we have left there, Amanda? We have
2 and 3.
2 and 3.
Where do you guys all live? Do you live local, or are you, I guess, let us know where you're coming from. What one do you want next?
I think I'm going to do the 3.
I'm going to open it
three.
for you.
Thanks, Amanda.
No, thank you.
Amanda helps me with, remember the bride we did in Cape Cod? And she brushed through all the extensions for me and helped out.
Lauren.
Yeah,
okay,
yes.
Lauren still comes to me for facials.
Oh, she does?
Yes. She had a baby and everything.
Yeah,
and
I know.
Still, and that's what I mean. Like, Lauren started with me before she even got married, gets married, comes to me after. I think I did her baby, maybe maternity picture makeup. So I feel like, you know, you build a relationship and they're forever people. But yeah, so we went to Cape Cod and I think we had 8 girls.
Yeah, that was
I did 8 makeups and Cassandra did 8 hairs. And I mean, I used to do that probably like
I don't even
years
think you
ago.
were like, I was like, you can do it, Amanda. You can do the 8 people.
I think I used to do it like when I first started because that's just what it was. Now I don't nearly do 8. And so I was like, holy shit. Like, oh, I don't know if I can curse on. Sorry. I was like, holy crap. I don't know if I could do 8. And Cassandra was like, you can do 8. I know you can do 8. We did 8. We killed it. But
it was pretty. We had the most amazing food there, too.
Cassandra was like cleaning my makeup brush. I was brushing her extensions. Like we were doing all the things just to get through, but we did, and it was amazing.
So I think it is like really good to have like a makeup artist and hairdresser that you know that your bride's going to be taken care of and she's going to look amazing, because it really does make a difference. And I think sometimes even, especially like a lot of the like more glamour looks too, like even just a natural glamour look, like you want the hair and makeup to be, you know, look good together.
Yeah.
And it's, as a hairdresser, I know when I hear of a makeup artist that is that I know and they're going to do an amazing job, it's such a relief saying yes.
It makes it fun. It makes it, you know that the look is going to be cohesive and it's going to be everything that you want. And it's nice too. I mean, we're working crazy hours on our feet. Even like I'll be working, Cassandra will be like, Amanda, can I get you a water? Or I see Cassandra and I'm like, let me get you some fruit. It's just one of those things. It's
I know.
Like, it's
you know who's awesome? Cassie's always like getting plates of food.
Always.
My daughter, she works with me all the time, and she's always asking any of us if we want, are you guys hungry? You want a coffee?
Yeah,
you want
she's awesome.
a plate of food?
She's great. And shout out to the brides.
And then you can also
us.
go to lunch after too, which is nice. I always try to find cute lunch places when we travel for weddings.
Okay, let's see. Is it better to curl your extensions separate from your hair or to curl the hair mixed in with the extension?
Curl the hair mixed
in
with the
Danielle,
extension.
hi.
Who is it?
Danielle.
Hi, Danielle.
Danielle, how's your puppy? Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, definitely together. You definitely want to curl. That's what I'm doing. I'm meshing Amanda's natural color or natural hair in with the extension hair.
How should I time the day of wedding schedule?
How should what?
How should she time the day of wedding schedule?
Is this a bride?
I'm not sure. Paula? It might be a question. How should I time the day of wedding schedule? I guess just talk about like your timing and like the importance of a timeline.
So what I like to do, when I see my bride come in, when she comes in for her bridal preview, I always ask her to send me a list of names of who's getting their hair done, what time does she need to be in her dress, and from there I will, like, let's say she has to be in her dress at 1:30, I'll backtrack to 12:30, and then I will backtrack and I start to put together a timeline. So the timeline necessarily it's more for me and the bride to know there's enough time for everybody to get done for that time at 1:30 when she needs to be ready. So for us, my daughter and I work a lot together, so I usually will book a couple people before the bride, and then I'll book the bride in, and I usually book the bride for an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending, I think I already said it before, but depending on how much hair they have, how many extensions I'm putting in, and then they'll get their makeup done before or after. So if you're working with a makeup, like Amanda, you make a schedule for makeup.
I am a
so
little
sometimes she'll send the
crazy,
schedule to me,
yeah.
and then I'll work around her schedule. But you can always move it around. For me, it's more just to make sure there's enough time for everybody and that we're going to be done in time. And then I usually allot a little bit of time at the end for the bride, so I can do some final touches, make sure that her hair is locked in. You know, if I need to just like tweak anything on her, fluff her out a little bit, I always work a little bit of time when everybody is done. And then as far as for brides, like if this was a bride that was asking how should she work the timeline, I would talk to your photographer. I think the photographer always knows what time they want the bride to be in their dress. The wedding planner.
I do feel like I am probably extra type A when it comes to timelines. I do feel like I kind of have an idea of how the day will go already just from doing so many weddings. But I will, if I know the photographer myself, I'll reach out and just say, hey, this bride, what's your time of beauty done by? And then they'll typically give us a time.
No, you're fine.
It also depends if they're doing first look or not doing a first look. But I feel like timelines in general are really good because you can print them out and give them to the whole bridal party
True.
too.
That is actually
It just
good.
makes the whole day go cohesive. There's no unexpected anything.
Yes.
It's just a guess and check kind of game, but I think it's important. I love a timeline. I live off a timeline, so maybe.
Yeah, I think for us, it definitely just, you know that you have enough time until that bride needs to be in her dress. And I just feel like it's not always going to, like, you may switch somebody around or whatever, but it always,
that's the thing too, is
yeah,
like, you
it's
know,
flexible.
if Cassandra is taking on a mom that was supposed to sit for makeup, we'll just swap.
Yeah.
And that's another thing good too about, you know, working with someone that you know, because
a lot of times I'll even talk to the makeup artist, like when I get there, I'll be like, hey, Amanda, like, what time are you planning to take the bride? Maybe I've already seen her schedule, but it's nice to talk about it. And then she'll be like, you know what, Cassandra, if it works better to do it this way or that way, we'll kind of talk about it ahead of time. And that way we have, like, our plan is set.
oh, I got out of it, so I can't read the messages. What does that say? Hi, Cassandra, I'm trying to read that phone because that comment's not on my phone. Hi, Cassandra, I can't read that shit.
Let's see. Can you read that one, Jamie, this question?
Yeah.
The last
It
one?
says we're using extensions on our wedding day. What types of extensions? And how do I choose the color and where to purchase?
Okay.
Oh, that's a
so
good question.
I custom match all of my brides for extensions. So I can do that during the bridal preview. I do have a bride coming in next week that she's not getting her bridal preview, but I'm going to custom match her and then I'll order them and we'll have them for her bridal preview. Either way is fine. It's kind of nice if you don't have them for your bridal preview too, because then like the day of wedding, I don't know, it's kind of like much more
Elaborate,
bridal.
yeah.
I don't know. It just gives you that next level. But if you want to have them and you are one of my brides, you can come in and get custom matched. I do recommend, like Luxie Hair has really nice extensions, and you can actually have your hairdresser match your extensions, maybe have them go online with you. It's harder without a swatch, I think, but you can definitely, I would have your hairdresser help you match extensions for you. So Luxie Hair, like Bellamy is a good one.
I've done I think I did Bellamy for my wedding.
You did it for your wedding?
Yeah, but I don't know how many, I didn't use the whole pack.
Yeah.
I ordered like some ridiculous.
Oh, you ordered like as much hair as you could.
Yeah.
I am thinking I am going to. I had a bride ask about renting extensions for the day of, so.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I might think about doing that.
Huh. Because I mean, yeah.
I mean, it depends. Some people do reuse their extensions. They end up using them for other weddings that they're in.
That would be a good like poll to do.
Yeah.
Like, are you more willing to rent or
right? Oh, that's a good idea.
Or own,
or get your own. Yeah.
How much do you?
You read that?
Get out of here, Cass.
What did she say?
How much do you both love me? So much.
We love you, Cassie.
Sorry, it's hard to sit up straight in this chair.
So I'm just going to turn Amanda.
I would rather rent. See, Cass?
Yeah. So I did have somebody say they would rather rent them. So Amanda's, you can see where it's reaching, her hair is hitting this. So normally, I'm just going to have you sit up, Amanda. So normally I would have no back so that I could be up against there, but I'm going to work and tweak it afterwards. So, and also too, when somebody's getting their makeup done, like you always want your makeup artist to like lift the hair and go bring the hair over the chair. Because as much as you can, you want to not disrupt the hair.
I would rather rent, huh?
Yeah, all right. Well, I actually did just have somebody, one of my brides, February 1st, she's getting married. She asked if I rented
February
them.
1st, next month?
No, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God, these extensions match so perfect.
I have a question for you. What is your favorite venue in the area to get someone ready at? Actually, maybe not get someone ready, because what's your favorite venue in the area?
Oh, well, I mean, I guess this is Vermont, but we went to the Hildene last year.
We did.
That was, oh yeah, because Amanda was there. Yeah, duh.
I was there.
That was really beautiful.
The Hildene is stunning.
It's amazing. They have like this box, what is it? Like the boxwood bushes.
Yep.
And then the flowers.
It's
all
a whole
along
garden.
It's like, just amazing.
Yeah, if you're a bride to be and you haven't chosen your venue yet, and the Hildene also, or is it Hildene? Is it called that? It's not the Hildene.
The Hildene, what? Yeah.
Is it Hildene?
Because it was the Lincoln.
The Lincoln.
The Lincoln family summer home, I think.
They just built a whole reception hall for.
And you get married at the top of the mountain, and it's like 3D. It's just
I guess
so
you used
amazing.
to only be able to get married in the old house, so it was like kind of dark. But now they have this huge like reception hall that's all white and chandelier, and it's in Manchester, Vermont.
Yeah, so
the Equinox is gorgeous too in Vermont.
Yeah, the Equinox is very pretty.
My husband is hot.
So we saw that. We pulled that one out already.
All right, so what do we have left, Amanda?
We have a two.
Okay.
1, 2. Yeah, people rather rent.
Okay.
I mean, that's so smart. Give them an envelope with your return address on.
Right. Oh, okay.
She's like, what does that mean?
We already talked about that.
Is this your first live?
Yeah.
Congrats.
It is. It's my first live.
It's where communication is.
You're doing a great job.
Fun. I can't wait to show you guys Amanda's hair.
Have you done the Promise Gardens yet? I just booked you all. I'm so excited, thinking we're going to just do hotel for hair.
Yeah, like hotels are great as long as there's like a good amount of space. I feel like that's
have you done the
and lighting
Gardens
obviously
yet?
for makeup artists.
I'm so excited, thinking we're gonna just do hotel for hair and makeup though, because they have no AC. Also, I'd rather buy mine. The Promise Gardens is gorgeous, and then
I've actually never been up to the venue though. I've only gotten brides ready.
It's so pretty. And
but
then
I've
you
seen
can do
pictures.
any of the hotels like in and around Lake George, or you can rent an Airbnb.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an amazing venue.
I'm gonna take
What
that
month
too.
are you getting married at the Promise Gardens?
Did she book both of us?
I don't know. I'm not really doing 2026 yet. I'm also not really, long story, but July.
Well,
So July will be gorgeous with all the flowers.
Oh, yeah, that's so pretty. I mean, honestly, like upstate New York, we have beautiful, like the Sagamore, very traditional. That's a beautiful venue. The Adelphi, I love the Adelphi. Canfield Casino, you know, because you can go into Congress Park.
That's amazing. When are you, like early July or late July? Because up there, late July, you might even get some days where it's like, because late July is almost August, obviously, but some of the nights up there get actually chilly. Well, not chilly, but colder. Oh, that's a good weekend.
Oh, and the Sablewood is another one
the
that
Sablewood is really beautiful.
The Sablewood
too.
is beautiful. She has a bridal suite.
Yep.
That's really.
I feel like her.
She only lets
Who's
you
the
get there
owner,
at
Lisa?
9 though, so
Yeah.
you do have to. And normally you have to be ready between 1 and 2, I think. So it can be a little bit tricky with that, but her venue's really beautiful. It's in Schoharie. And you get the Schoharie Mountains behind you, and she has a beautiful cocktail area where you're overlooking the mountains. It's really, really pretty.
Yeah, there's a lot of good venues around.
Yeah, I feel like I'm trying to think of more.
So let's start. So obviously Lake Placid is gorgeous. So there's Whiteface Mountain.
The golf club. Isn't that part of the whole this Whiteface Lodge?
Whatever. They're all Lake Placid is gorgeous.
Yeah,
Then there's Lake George, which is the Sagamore in Urla West. I will say, don't sleep on the carriage house at the Fort William Hotel. It's new. They just redid it.
Yes, I saw that.
They have an upstairs bridal room, which is gorgeous. And then the whole carriage house overlooks the water. It's stunning. What else is in Lake George?
I forgot about their carriage house. I actually did one wedding there since they built that.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. Sagamore, Inner Urla West. Who else is in? I feel like sometimes I've done just like at Airbnbs in Lake George.
You know where else, I mean, honestly is really pretty, which I have to say I was kind of, the first wedding I ever did there was at Turning Stone, and I was like, why would anybody get ready, you know, get married there? But then you have like the lodge at Turning Stone, and you can get married outside, and it's really beautiful, and they have a nice, I don't know, that whole area, that's really pretty.
Yep.
You get married outside, and they have a bridal suite with a huge mirror and like curtains so the bride can get dressed behind the curtains. It's really, that's very pretty. And their breakfast place is amazing.
That is one of the hardest things. I feel like in the city, I feel like hotels and venues have a dedicated area to get ready. Like Jersey, the city. I lived in the city for 10 years, and it was just like the bridal headquarters. And then I moved back to Saratoga, and I just felt like there's like the Sablewood has that beautiful get ready. But other than that, there's not a ton of venues that have a specific area like set up for hair and makeup.
I guess if you're at a hotel, probably like one of the conference rooms would be, if they have somewhere like that. That's like a good spot. There's usually good lighting and definitely plenty of room. And make sure you have like a nice food spread for all your bridesmaids.
Oh, we just heard of a new one in Scroon Lake. It's called The Lodge. I have heard of that. I haven't been there, but I have heard of that.
It's called The Lodge in Scroon Lake?
Good Things.
Okay.
But yeah, just look at areas. You know, obviously lighting is huge for us, but we typically bring all of our lights and chair.
Yeah.
And
I always, if we show up before, if like my daughter and I show up before the makeup artist, I always like leave the most lit area for the makeup artist. I'm like, you know what, let them have that area and then we'll just,
suffer.
We'll take what's left over. I think it's just even more important for you guys to have that, that natural lighting. Did we have any more? I wrote down some of these questions. Should we?
I could read some of them. Okay, so these are questions that were sent in, over the last 2 weeks?
So these are questions I had a few people ask questions last week, and then from any of my classes I've done, I just saved questions that people write down just so I can always use them for future reference.
Okay, someone just said, hi, Cassandra. Beth Slade here.
Hi, Beth.
Love this Q&A. I'm having a brunch, I think she meant to say, the morning after. Worries about taking my style out, washing and styling all by 8 a.m. What do you recommend?
Oh, yeah. So wait, you're having a brunch the day after, Beth?
The morning after.
So I probably would take your extensions out.
I guess it depends on how you're, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I would take your extensions out before, like the night before, your wedding night, and then brush through your hair. Are you going to style it the next day yourself? Because I think if you're going to do clip-ins, Beth, you're not going to want to sleep in them and have them get all knotted up. So that's what I would recommend. I would definitely.
Yes, she's styling it. Okay, so here's the question. What's your price difference between in-salon and travel?
So I do have a travel fee. We have a travel fee for all of our weddings, but in-salon, obviously I wouldn't. I rarely do in-salon weddings. I did have a couple of my clients got married, and I ended up doing their hair in the salon. So I don't charge for travel for that.
I don't know. How do I make it an easy process for my bride from trial to day of wedding?
I think that it's just like the communication. So like your trial, for me, most of the times, if I don't do a phone call with my brides, their trial is the first time that I meet them. So I have a list of bridal preview tips that I send to them. And, it allows them to come prepared. And then they obviously show me pictures and I get to know. So I spend about 2 hours with my brides during their bridal preview. And that allows me to get to know them and about what they're doing. So I think it's the communication. And then I get pictures of their hairstyle. And that way, we can have some options. And then when we talk, during the wedding, we do another consultation and we go over what we did and if there's any changes that they want. So I think it's really just communicating with them, and it'll make it smooth, from you let them know what you expect from them and what they expect from you.
How should I time the day of wedding schedule? We talked about that a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you want to speak on that again, or?
I mean, we did talk about it, right? I think we went in pretty good.
Oh, this is a good one. How do I achieve consistency in being the go-to for bridal hair?
Yeah, I think the first class I did, somebody asked that question. So I would say, like, being consistent would mean you'd have to, if you're just starting out, you're going to want to get models, show your work, and just continue to do that and don't stop. And eventually everything you put out there, you'll eventually start to get everything will be coming in. You'll be getting requests from brides, but you have to put the work out and show people what it is, what type of bride that you do. Are you somebody who does a lot of glamour looks? Do you do soft, more natural textured looks? And I think when you show people that, you become the go-to for those specific styles. Would you say the same for makeup?
Yeah, I mean, practice.
I mean, consistency is like just doing the same thing over and over again. Being consistent.
I think being confident in your work.
Yeah. Well, and that comes from the practice.
Yeah.
And doing it over and over again. Then you build confidence because naturally you just have learned, like you've done something so many times that you learn it really well.
And just, I think, be authentic. Be, as far as a business owner, be the type of business owner that you would want to book yourself. Be reliable.
Yeah. I can't even, talking about, if I've ever missed a wedding, because I've been doing this probably 30 years, and I'm like, I don't even remember. I don't even think I've ever missed a wedding.
Yep. Because you're...
Knock on wood.
Yeah, knock on wood. What is your best tip, advice about bridal business?
Well, I think you just have to keep going until, die. Basically, I feel like sometimes we think it's like you get from A to B and then you're done. And it's just really not. You just keep going and eventually things stick and then you move on to something different in your business and then it sticks and you can't quit. You have to just keep going.
You can't stop. Once you're in, you're in.
It's like a marathon.
Okay.
You know who's a great, Cassandra, you're going to laugh when I say this, but if you want a podcast about business, Alex Hormozy and his wife Layla, they have the best, they have these 10-minute clips. They have such great information about business and you can relate it to any bridal business, any business that you're doing.
What is your best tip, advice about bridal hair?
I think that it would be to do the prep work so that you can get the result that you want and be patient with it. Don't say, I can just go by that. I don't have to do this. Be patient with doing the hair because you'll get the look that you want. Does that make sense, what I just said?
How do you deal with hair that doesn't stay curled?
Well, extensions. Extensions
Does that help?
Really literally will help lock in the style and it will help it curl. Obviously spraying the hair, prepping the hair, doing what you need to do to make it stay. But definitely somebody who has very difficult hair to curl, if you add extensions in there, it's going to give that natural hair support. So you're going to get a better lasting, curl. And of course, Got2B Glued.
Sponsor me.
Okay.
Do they do sponsorships?
I'm going to show them the back of your hair. So this is what Amanda's looking like. She has beautiful hair. So then we're going to move to the front. So again, I talked about how I look at the head. I look at it from the front, the crown, and the back. So when I got up to her crown, I added a little bit more teasing going upward just to get a little more volume through there. And then we're going to curl all of this forward to get that nice glamour look.
Okay, so extensions help with that hairspray. Okay, how do I start to enjoy working weddings instead of being anxious?
Well, I think that's from experience.
Yeah.
And that's literally, like, even if you, let's say you don't have any weddings, maybe you just book models every Monday, every Tuesday, whatever it is, and you just continuously do the looks that you want to eventually be doing on your brides. That will make you less anxious. You're always going to be a little bit nervous. Like, if it's your first wedding, you're going to be a little bit nervous. That's just how it is. But the more experience you get, the better and less nervous you're going to be at what you do. That's anything at all, you know, hair, makeup, anything.
I think that being in the wedding industry is not appreciated as much as it should be, because the things that, you know, we as artists, I guess, kind of give up is crazy, you know, depending on how far you book in advance. You know, you have to show up. If you don't show up,
you're going to be anxious and nervous.
It's just,
I know. I can't even imagine.
You have to know what you're getting into. It's really, if you're in it for the money, you're not in the right business, because weddings, you
have to be in it for more than that.
Yeah, you have to really love what you do, because there's situations.
And no matter what, like, I think there needs to be a full disclosure about anything that you love to do. There are going to be days where you would rather be home, you'd rather be with your husband, you'd rather be laying in the sun, going and doing other things. That's just normal. But overall, I think it is important. You do need to like what you're doing and like making somebody feel good about themselves and them liking.
My hair gets... That's amazing.
Was that smoking?
Got2B Glue. Look at how that stays.
I know.
That's like a dream.
So I'm not putting any extensions on this side of Amanda's hair because I want to use the last few that I have. I want to use it on the area that we're going to really do that nice high glam. Another things, sometimes brides will say, I don't need to have extensions with this look. Every single person, even if you have a ton of hair, you have a negative space in the front, and that's really where this piece is going to lay over. So you really want to make sure you fill that in with extensions, because it's going to make it look fuller. Because because of the way our hairlines come in, we tend to have a little bit of negative space there, and when it comes down and you want to see that, you know, a couple rows of waves, you're not going to see it as good without the extensions.
Okay, how do you prep the site you will be working at? What do you bring? Maybe your bridals? Yeah,
so I have like a piece of luggage and then a little carry bag that I bring, and then I just I always have like things that I don't use all the time in with my kit. So when I prep my table up, I just put my necessities, and then I'll dig through my bag if there's anything that is like a specialty that I need.
What brand is this? Hair curler.
Oh, this is the Bioionic. And it's like got the longer barrel, so you can put more hair on it. I can't even work with like a regular one now. I think we should still keep going.
What brushes and combs do you like to use?
So I always have one of these combs. It's got the teeth on the end. This is a tool structure.
Oh, wow.
I love this for teasing. Honestly, like for smoothing out and everything, I get it at Sally's. Mason Pearson brush. Love that brush. That's great for like when you start off brushing the hair. If you're going to switch your bride's look, you can brush through the hair before you switch their look. I think that's pretty much the three main ones that I use.
How do you incorporate? All right, we went over that. How do you get volume with not much hair to work with?
Yeah, you can use padding.
Padding?
Yeah, you can set padding in the hair, and it will, like, the hair will lay on top of it. And I also think like prepping the hair is important, like getting texture spray at the root, micro crimping. Those steps are really important with everybody, but especially with somebody with finer hair. Spraying the hair, curling it after you spray it, that all is going to help to add volume. And honestly, sometimes with thin hair, you don't want to work with the hair too much. You want to do what you need to do with it and then leave it alone, because the more you play with it, it gets sticky and it gets harder to work with.
How do you not get burned out? Can you find that answer? Let us know. Setting boundaries.
Yeah. Setting boundaries. Take a vacation every once in a while.
Be creative. Find things that, you know, if you're doing 75 weddings a year, you're probably going to get a little bit tired of doing the same exact hairstyle or...
Okay, and that's a good thing to talk about, the same exact hairstyle, because I used to say, oh, don't they want something different? But I was like, I have to remember that the bride, this is the only time they've been married. So to them, it is a new style, and just be thankful that you actually can do it, and you're very good at it. So I used to think that. I used to be like, oh my God, I want to do something really different and whatever. But really, they've never done this before. No. So to them, they can't wait to look this way, and it's special to them.
Yeah, and if you're feeling burnt out, go, do a styled shoot.
Go do a deadlift.
Deadlift. Okay, she can, I won't.
No, definitely a styled shoot. Yes, that allows you to be a little bit more... do something that is for you.
Get your creative juices flowing, and then you get inspired. Take a class. Take, lots of stuff.
Yeah.
That's my favorite question so far. Okay.
Oh, we went over an hour? Okay. Wow, we've been doing this live for an hour, Amanda.
We should do a live together. Where I go live too. Okay. Not today, but plan something.
That's a good idea.
And then people can ask both hair and makeup questions.
Okay.
You inspired me.
Yeah, you inspire me.
People know I posted 10 times in 2024 on social media. 10 times. The whole year. And I went on my thing because, I went on my square and I did 311 makeups and over 500 facials. I don't even post the facials on my social media.
Amazing.
So don't be fooled by social media.
Yeah, it's true. No, definitely.
Yeah, that's a big thing. Don't compare yourself on social media.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
It's hard not to. But...
Well, because that can make you burned out. I think you just have to still, and it brings you back to being authentic too. Yeah. You want to be authentic because then you're not, I think it's good to get inspiration from other people, but not to feel like you're not good enough,
Yep. And people will see right through that. If you start copying people.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Trust Amanda. All right. So we're on to the sides.
Or at least shout them out when you're copying them.
Yeah.
Because then it's inspo.
We have an answer.
What? What's that?
The food co-op. It's the Honest Weight Food Co-op.
Oh, no, thank you.
Oh, here.
Oh my God. What are you gonna get?
Mango.
Tried? You love that.
And orange juice.
Oh, that's fun.
Drink a gallon.
Orange juice? You should do cranberry juice.
Yeah, I have some of that.
Cranberry juice is
Oh,
better.
you know how sour that is?
It's tart.
Is it sour?
You just
All right, so how are we doing?
People are just saying hi. Liz Heitzman says hi.
Hi, Liz.
Okay. Angie said you guys look great. Thanks, Ange. We love Ange.
Thanks, Ange. Love Ange.
Ange is the biggest hype girl.
Oh, yeah. Amanda did Angie's makeup, and I did her hair for her wedding, August. That's been over a year. Isn't that crazy?
Maybe we bring Ange over to tell how, what it was like to be a bride.
Where's Angie? Cassandra, where's Angie? Let's get a rash.
She will get a rash. Is there any other questions you feel like? I feel like we went over a lot, even if you aren't.
So before we actually end, I wanted to just let everybody know that I'm doing a class in Connecticut at the Network Salon on March 31st. And I'm going to do a high glamour bridal look. And then I'll probably switch them into a second look And again, that's March 31st. And then I have a couple more. I'm going to do another class in my salon, which will be a little bit smaller. I like the classes in my salon to be a little bit more intimate. So I haven't figured out a date for that yet, but probably sometime in April. And then I also do one-on-one classes too. So I started doing those last year. So I had a few bridal stylists that reach out to me about those. So, and then what do you do, Amanda? Do you do any teach? Like, do you teach at all?
Yeah, if you're interested in, a makeup class, or I'll start posting some dates for those. I haven't done big classes like this in a long time, so maybe I will start.
The one-on-one's nice too.
Makeup is hard because there's so many different colors and skin types, and
yeah,
to do a big class,
true.
I feel like the one-on-ones sometimes are easier.
All right. So thanks for joining us.
Are you
guys.
gonna want to maybe?
What's that?
Should you do like a quick live when we're done? So people.
Oh
can
yeah, we
see?
could do that. Can we hop on with a live when we're
Should
done?
we
with
end it
Amanda's
now,
hair?
or should we?
Yeah, we can end it now and we can hop back on.
Okay.
And show the finish.
So
All right,
maybe
so-
like 20 minutes.
Yeah. So I think like in about a half hour, we're gonna hop back on to live, and then we'll show you guys Amanda's final look. Thanks, guys.
All right, bye.